Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. So I'm going to talk about something very interesting. And a lot of members may have this question, but sometimes they are afraid to ask or they don't know who to talk to and they don't get the answer. So today I'm going to talk about it. Hopefully it will help everybody. So my topic today is, what am I supposed to be thinking about when I chant? The answer is, you are not supposed to be thinking about anything when you chant. That's the wrong way to look at it. There are ways of thinking that will maximize the effectiveness of your chanting, but there are no rules about it, only guidelines. Buddhist practice encompasses both the material and the spiritual world, and more than that, encourages us to demand actual proof of the validity of our practice. That proof can be physical, spiritual, or mental, for your benefit or somebody else's. But chanting is not magic. Its function is to bring about your Buddha nature so that the actions you take are the right ones, taken at the right time, at the right place, to achieve the right goals. In terms of chanting for something that cannot be directly affected by your actions, then we can rely on the powerful function of Kyo, of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, which connects all life and particularly the function of Buddhahood inherent in all life. Therefore, you can chant for improvements in a friend's health, say your neighborhood, country, or even universe, and be confident that changes will gradually occur as a matter of course. The most important function of chanting is to help us change our unhappy karma. That would be the point of getting numerous conspicuous benefits if our basic tendency of greed, anger, or fear ultimately destroyed or stopped us enjoying them. In Nichiren Daishonen's Buddhism, benefits come through changing the thing in us, which has prevented us from having or keeping that particular piece of good fortune. So, although the new job, for example, may seem like the benefit, it is the fact that we have had to overcome a portion of our fear, or whatever, that is truly going to benefit the rest of our lives. Well, a lot of people, even they get a job that they want, they start to fear, thinking, am I able to do it? Will I be successful? Can I be appreciated? There are so many doubts in their mind about it. So what is the best way of chanting about these things? If you merely sit in front of the Gohonzon and think endlessly about what you want as you chant, you are minimizing the effect of your chanting dramatically. Instead, in the first few minutes of chanting, you can remind yourself of your goals. After that, you can stop thinking about them and concentrate on fusing your life with the Gohonzon and manifesting the power of your own Buddhahood. Try to feel Nam-myoho Renge Kyo reverberate through your body. Chant until you feel the glow of your chanting, at which point you will probably realize that your problems are smaller than your life, your potential, and that you can embrace and thereby control your desires and ambitions without denying them. Chanting in this way helps us to expand our lives so that our personal desires are much more easier to deal with. If we continually chant for world peace through the spread of this Buddhism, which is Kozen Rufu, we will also find our lives and our potential for happiness will become truly limitless. Then the things we need to become happy will, without doubt, fall into place. This is the benefit of Kozen Rufu, of helping others. And in helping others, you're actually helping yourself. So when you are sitting down to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, with clear goals in mind. But once you start chanting, a lot of thoughts start popping up. You're trying to refocus each time, but it feels uncontrollable. Yeah, a lot of times, even when we chant, we'll think about a lot of other things, like what I'm going to have dinner and what I'm going to buy, all these things. Mr. Ikeda shares about how our worries can become our prayers or thoughts when we are chanting. When we turn our problems into prayers, that is, if we worry about things when you chant, their significance changes. By turning them into prayers filled with determination, such as I'm going to win, I'm going to get it, and conviction, we can expand our state of life. Contrary to popular belief, you are not expected to clear your mind when you are chanting. Actually, allowing your thoughts to naturally come up can also signal what's in your heart. There's nothing specific you have to think about, but you are having some trouble focusing. Here are some helpful examples from Mr. Ikeda. If we have done something we regret, we can chant with the determination never to repeat the same mistake, making our prayer the first step toward a new and better future. When we face a decisive challenge, we can chant strongly and courageously with the firm resolve to win. When we are faced with the opportunity to transform our karma, we can infuse our prayer with an unwavering resolve not to be defeated. When we are happy about something, we can chant with a deep spirit of appreciation and gratitude. Now here, I know we all chant for things that we want. I just don't know how many of you guys will chant with appreciation to the Gohansen for what you have already have, or whether you have already overcome your problems. So in our daily practice, the Gongyo in the evening, we are meant to show our appreciation to the Gohansen for the blessing during the day, for what we have done in the day. This is the proper way. The point is, whatever is on your mind when chanting is fine. In fact, that's usually when you get the most out of your chanting. The important thing is to have a determination of some kind in whatever you are facing. So, don't worry too much. Just be yourself. Remember, you are a Buddha, just as you are, and tapping into your Buddha ability is how you can awaken to that fact. Though you might try to concentrate, it is easy to get distracted, and that is okay. Chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo is supposed to be enjoyable, not rigid and uncomfortable. We wanted to share some helpful tips and a perspective you can have when your mind starts to wander or you find it hard to focus. One student admitted being uncertain about how to pray. He wanted to know whether he should just chant about one thing at a time, waiting for that prayer to be answered before going on to the next one, or whether it was all right to pray for many things at the same time. The answer is, you can chant for as many things as you like. A person with many wishes and dreams should pray earnestly to fulfill each one. Buddhism is reason. You are the only one who can realize your desires. It's up to your own faith and practice, no one else's. To use the analogy of shopping, you can buy many things when you have enough money in your wallet. To buy something that costs $300, you need to have $300. If you only have $10, you can only purchase $10 worth of goods. If you want to buy something, you need to bring along enough money to do so. In faith, the same logic applies. You are the only one who can realize your desires. It's up to your own faith and practice, no one else's. So if you have a really big goal, you need to chant more and devote yourself to having more people. So you have more benefits and you have more blessings, which means that you have more money in your pocket to buy expensive goods. But if you only chant 3 Nam-myoho Renge Kos in a day, how can you achieve a big dream? But of course, at the moment of life and death, 3 Nam-myoho Renge Kos will save your life. But that is only when you are so used to practice, so used to chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kos, that at the point of danger, it just came out of your life. But if you are not very diligent in your practice, at the moment of danger, Nam-myoho Renge Kos will not come out. You will not even remember that you can Nam-myoho Renge Kos to save you. So the more diligent we are with our practice, the faster you are to achieve your goals. Some members say that they have trouble concentrating or focusing on the Gohonsen when they chant. They get distracted. What can they do about it? Because we are human, it's natural for our minds to wander, for all sorts of thoughts and memories to surface. You can just share all those thoughts with the Gohonsen. There is no set form or pattern for how we should pray. Buddhism speaks of being uncreated and unadorned. In other words, it means natural. Therefore, simply chant earnestly and without pretense. Just as you are, in time, as your faith develops, you will find it easier to focus your mind when you chant. The next question is it all right to chant mainly for ourselves? Answer: yes, it's fine. It's natural for prayers to center on your own desires and dreams. There's no need to pretend that you are praying for something lofty when you are not. You're only fooling yourself if you do so. By chanting naturally without affectation or reservation for what you seek most of all, you will gradually come to develop a higher and more expansive life condition. Of course, it is also fine to chant with the resolve to become bigger-hearted, or for the welfare of your friends and for Kosen Rufu. The happiness and prosperity of all mankind, you are free to chant for whatever you wish. It's all up to you. I remember when I first started to practice Nichiren Buddhism, I did ask a senior member. I said, would it be very selfish for me to chant for myself only? And the senior member said, it's completely okay for you to chant for yourself initially. But as you continue to practice, if your life expands, you will undoubtedly chant for the others. Because our Buddhist practice is about helping others. And if you realize this goal, of course you will chant for other people. Reciting the sutra morning and evening and chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo are not obligations. They are a wonderful right you possess. Please don't feel obligated that you have to chant and do your gongyo, because it's a blessing that we are able to do it. You are not forced to do it. We just want to do it. All right? So we are going to talk about the right attitude while chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. As spiritual practice goes, chanting is a relatively easy option. It can be challenging to quiet your mind and release stray thoughts during silent meditation. It can be difficult to bring a sense of mindfulness to every moment, especially the difficult ones. With chanting, however, all you really need to do so is say the words out loud, regularly and consistently. After a while, you will even find that those meditation and mindfulness skills start to come naturally. You just need to start with Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. People often ask what they should think about while chanting, and there is no right or wrong. The power of the words alone will be invoked no matter what you are thinking about as you are chanting. However, there are several ways you can consciously direct your thoughts and intentions to get the best out of your chanting or to complement any other spiritual or self-help practice. Think about what you are saying. The words Nam Myoho Renge Kyo are rich with symbolic meaning. The most direct translation is, I devote myself to the mystic law of the Lotus Sutra. But the interpretation I prefer to invoke is something more like, I align myself with the natural law of the universe. That natural law is commonly referred to as the law of attraction. I think everybody knows about this, law of attraction. And basically means that the energy you put out to the universe will be returned back to you. If you have a positive attitude, you will see positive outcomes in your life, and vice versa. Through this chanting practice, the energy and attitude you emit is enhanced even further. And, best of all, the practice itself can have the effect of raising your energetic frequency so that you tend more towards positive thoughts and intentions that you might have before. So, when I'm chanting, I like to focus on the words I'm saying and the meaning behind them, consciously putting out the intention to simply connect with that natural energy of the universe. 2. Think about what you want. Now that is before you started chanting, all right? Think about what you want. Or at the end of your chanting, in the Gonyo, there is a statement that you can send forth your prayers. You pray for what you want. So many Nichiren Buddhists often hail chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo as a practice they can literally provide you with whatever your heart desires, whether it is finding love, a fulfilling job, or even something as simple and material as getting that new car. Of course, if you immerse yourself deeply in your spiritual journey, you will come to realize that material wealth and possessions aren't naturally the be-all and all. You may find your focus or desire shifting from physical and material wealth to spiritual and emotional well-being. But that's a leg of the spiritual journey which may still lie ahead of your own personal road. So, in the meantime, there is nothing stopping you from chanting for that new car. Just go ahead and chant for whatever you want. To do this, start by thinking about whatever it is that you want. Imagine yourself already there. Picture it. Summon up the feeling you will have when it comes to pass. The feeling of happiness, success, achievement, enjoyment. Yeah, put the picture in your mind. You know, pictures are very powerful. If you can see yourself in that picture, then the chances of you getting into that picture and achieving that goal is strong, very strong. Then start chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, taking that as if it has already happened, feeling with you as you start reciting the words. Yeah, I was told a long time ago by a Japanese member that when you chant for what you want, thank the Gohonsen for already getting what you want. This is another way of chanting. The energy of emotion is much more powerful than just the I want that thought. So your alignment with the law of attraction will be enhanced by chanting from the feeling place. Yes, try to feel the success. Try to feel when you get that something. And how do you feel when you get that something or that person? Use your feelings. 3. Think about what you already have. No matter what you may wish for you in your life, if you stop and look around, you will find that you're already surrounded by an abundance of blessings. Chances are you have a roof over your head, a comfortable bed, food to eat, clean water to drink. You have friends and family who love you, or a pet who brings unconditional joy to your love. You probably have access to a place of natural beauty like a park, a mountain, river, or seafront. You may have something simple like a painting on your wall that you enjoy gazing at, an old favorite book to read again and again, or a TV program that you enjoy and appreciate, relaxing in front of it at the end of the day. If, as I suggested above, emotion is more powerful than thought alone, there is no emotion more powerful than gratitude. Please thank the Gohonsen even before you get that something. Taking a moment to really think about, acknowledge, and appreciate all those things that you are already lucky to have in your life serve to open the floodgates to bring more of whatever makes you grateful into your life. Chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo with gratitude for what you have and for all the great unknown blessings that are still to come. 4. Think about someone else. I believe that we are all connected by the same field of energy, and it stands to reason that if you consciously direct your thoughts, emotions, and the energy of your practice to someone else, that the energy you emit can and will reach that person through that all-encompassing field. So, one of the best ways to practice is to focus on someone else. This can be someone you love, who may be suffering, and you want to send them positive or healing energy. Or it can also be someone you are struggling with in your life. Maybe someone you don't get along with or even like. Give you an example. There was a member who was working with a colleague who was very abusive. So this member started to chant for the happiness of the colleague. And she tried not to get aggravated, but tried to be helpful. And then at the age of 8 months, something happened and she was very helpful to that person, and that changes the whole situation. That abusive colleague has become her Shoten Senjin. Chanting for people like this can be hugely rewarding, as you can use this practice and method to release yourself from any negative emotions the person might bring up in you, like anger, hurt, or frustration. If you have that sort of emotions in you, you're only hurting yourself. If you release those emotions, you're helping yourself too. Those feelings only deplete your own energy and happiness. So chanting for them, or even just to improve your relationship with them, can really help to see the problem or person in a different light. Paradoxically, sending out warm wishes to those who have hurt or wronged you actually raises your spirits. My method, now I was just quoting somebody else's writing, it's not me. My method of directing energy to someone else starts by basically visualizing them happy. Now this is me now talking. Visualization is also very, very powerful. I think long time ago, I've read the book about visualization. You actually see yourself or see the other people in what you want to see and what you want them to be. So try to use visualization. Picture them in your mind's eye, happy, relaxed, and carefree. If you have shared good times together in the past, cast your memory back to that and recall their smiles and laughter. Summon up the love you feel for them through that positive memory of their happiness. If it is a person you are struggling with, try to summon up compassion for whatever they have had to deal with in life that they may have led to how they treat you now. Then, as you start chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, send that love, send that compassion, Send positive energy like a beam of light. Imagine that light developing and protecting them. Picture their smiles growing even bigger and bigger. This can be an amazing way of directing your daily practice and raising your own vibration by cultivating a desire for happiness for everyone. Then, think about being happy. This method works best for me, now not me, it's a writer, when I'm in one of those low moods. Tired, drained, grumpy, sad. Just not feeling it. When it's too much of a challenge to muster up the energy to consciously direct your thoughts any other way, just simply chant for happiness. Chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo for yourself. Ask the universe to help you smile again. When doing that, I find that even though your mood might not miraculously flip into joy in that moment, you still get a sense of satisfaction from having taken action towards finding your happy place again. Plus, more often than not, the day will then find a way of turning itself around. Chant and ask for happiness. Chant for happiness. And then keep an eye on whatever's going on around you. Chances are, the universe will send you a little hug in some form to cheer you up. I think I also saw something about being happy. So if you are not happy, every day, this is what I did also. Every day when you wake up, when you brush your teeth, look in the mirror and try to smile. Smile at yourself. If you're constantly doing that, then eventually smiles becomes natural and you'll become happy. Okay, so I'm going to share an experience with you that is very touching. So this is an experience from a lady called Steffa. So she's been asked a few questions and she was answering those questions. The question she was asked was, have you ever failed in your life? Answer. Before I started practicing Buddhism, I failed in almost all areas of my life. School, studies, relationships. Nothing went as I wished or imagined. After I began practicing Buddhism, this fundamentally changed. Nevertheless, subsequently, there was a time in my life that I would describe as a period of experiencing failure. In retrospect, I see it as a success. I can look back on this experience as something that enriched my life. It was about my family's financial situation. Several factors played a role. One was our purchase and restoration of a beautiful old apartment. It had long been a great desire of mine to own and live in such an apartment. We had begun this endeavor with joy and great naivety, without any real preparation or plan, but the costs were much higher than expected. Owing to further financial burdens, our situation worsened until nothing remained of our original joy. The apartment and everything that went with it, restoration, obligations as owners, bills that we could no longer pay, only depressed us and caused me and my husband pure stress. All this hung heavily over our heads until nothing worked anymore. Our accounts were closed, we could no longer service our loans and pay the bills, and hardly had any money to live on. And all this with 2 young children. Question. You described your situation very vividly. How did you feel in the midst of it? Answer. To be honest, awful. Due to the excessive demands and pressure, I left letters and bills unopened. I remember many sleepless nights, nighttime panic attacks, and a lot of anxiety. I had feelings of failure and helplessness when I couldn't even buy my own children any clothes or food. Then I was introduced to the Buddhist practice at the meetings, and I was very encouraged. So I had no choice but to rely on my Buddhist practice. Question: how did you transform your situation? Answer: by taking a clear decision to draw a line and end this situation. It was a decision against passive suffering and for active acceptance of responsibility. The first thing I did was to suggest to my husband that we sell the apartment. He was so relieved and surprised because the apartment had been my dream. From then on, it was a matter of taking concrete steps towards a solution, selling the apartment, and finding an affordable rental apartment. For the new apartment, I wanted it to be suitable for hosting my local Buddhist meetings. I was determined to use my experience to encourage other members by showing them that you can overcome any difficulty through your Buddhist practice. I no longer felt helpless. I knew what to do and where to direct my prayer, and I felt there was no deeper meaning to my situation. I chanted Nam Myo Ho Renge Kyo that we would find the most suitable buyer, and the buyer we finally found was able to transfer the money in one lump because of an inheritance. When we hosted a Buddhist meeting in our new apartment, the members embarked on how much nicer it was than our previous place. We have been living in this rented apartment for almost 20 years and feel much more comfortable than in our old place. So she was able to turn her failure into something entirely positive. Yes, she says, I have come to a deeper understanding of Buddhism and my life. I realized how superficial and my understanding of Buddhism had been and recognized my arrogance. Failing was not necessarily something negative. I understood the profound significance of difficulties for deepening faith and for my development as a person. Some members later told me that they could relate to me better because of my experience. I am deeply grateful because it was through this experience of failure that I was able to develop real compassion and appreciation. Part of my superficial understanding was the attitude that through Buddhist practice, everything would somehow work out. I had begun the condo project with this attitude. Buddhism, however, is reason, and it also means becoming informed, making good preparations, facing reality, and taking care of details. I became very aware of cause and effect. By losing the apartment, I was also able to free myself from an illusion. I had made myself dependent on owning a prestigious apartment. This long-cherished and urgent desire for such an apartment stemmed from the life state that in Buddhism we call the world of hunger. It was about wanting to have, literally at any cost. This was also associated with a permanent dissatisfaction with my living and housing situation. In retrospect, I was able to say, yes, I had this great desire, and I fulfilled it. And now I know that my happiness absolutely does not depend on it. Okay, so with this experience, I hope we all learn, because it's vanity. Sometimes we want something which it might not be even good for us. So we should have the wisdom to let go of whatever it is that instead of bringing us joy, bring us burden. So this is all I have to share today. Thank you very much for attending my meeting.